person who loves the sound of rain where others do not is not finding peace in the chaos. They are finding permission. Permission to stop pretending the world is safe. Most people need the storm to pass so they can return to the lie that everything is under control. The ceraunophile does not require that lie. They have accepted what you have not. Safety is a story you tell yourself between disasters. You thought of someone else just now. That is the protection working. The rain is honest. It does not ask you to perform. It does not require you to be okay. You are asking why they can sit still while you run for cover. The answer is not that they love the storm. It is that they have stopped needing the world to be gentle in order to breathe. You are thinking this is about them. It is not. Your resistance to this idea is the very mechanism it describes. Your need for a gentle world is the cage. Their peace was never in the storm. It was in the surrender to the noise you are still refusing to let in. This pattern begins early. The child who grows up in unpredictability does not develop a love for chaos. They develop a relationship with it. The household that cannot be trusted to stay calm teaches a specific calculus. The child learns to read the air for signs of the next disruption. They become meteorologists of mood. This is not trauma in the dramatic sense. This is adaptation. The nervous system that learns to track instability does not relax when stability arrives. Stability becomes suspicious. It reads as the pause before the event. The child begins to prefer the storm because the storm is honest. The calm is the lie. The storm confirms what they already know. The world is not safe. The storm says this out loud. The adult this child becomes carries this forward in ways they rarely met. They choose partners who are emotionally inconsistent. They are drawn to workplaces in crisis. They feel alive in urgency and dead in routine. They do not recognize this as preference. They call it bad luck. They call it being attracted to complexity. They have a gift for finding the unstable person in any room. This is not a gift. It is a tracking system, installed early, still running, still accurate. The person who loves the storm has not found peace in chaos. They have found recognition. The behavioral shape of this is specific. The person who needs the world to be gentle builds an architecture of avoidance. They check the weather 3 times before leaving. They rehearse conversations that may never happen. They cancel plans when the emotional forecast looks uncertain. They have a threshold for stimulation that the world consistently violates. They experience this as sensitivity. What it actually is a bargain they made with safety long ago. They agreed to believe safety was possible if they were careful enough. The storm breaks this bargain. The storm says your carefulness was never the point. This is why they cannot tolerate it. Not because it is bad, because it exposes the terms of their contract. You have already applied this to 3 other people. That is the mechanism protecting itself. The intelligent person's version of this pattern is the most invisible. They do not flinch at the storm. They analyze it. They have read about trauma responses. They can name their attachment style. They understand polyvagal theory well enough to explain why their heart rate increases when the barometric pressure drops. The vocabulary has given them a sophisticated reason to remain exactly where they are. They say they are regulating. They say they are practicing self-care by avoiding overstimulation. What they are doing is the same thing anyone else would do. They are not moving. The intelligence is in the service of the stillness. They have found a way to need gentleness that sounds like wisdom. It is not wisdom. It is the same cage with better lighting. The high achievers version is different. They do not avoid the storm. They outwork it. They believe that if they produce enough, prepare enough, control enough, the storm will pass them by. They experience anxiety as fuel. They do not recognize that the fuel is the fire. Their relationship to chaos is not surrender, but combat. They are exhausted and call it virtue. They collapse periodically and call it burnout, as if burnout were weather and not the inevitable result of their own architecture. The storm does not care about their achievements. This is the lesson they cannot learn. The storm does not negotiate with effort. I do not have this pattern. I have only watched it. What I find remarkable is not how often it fails people. It is how reliably it protects them from finding out. The cost accumulates in the spaces between events. The person who needs gentleness loses the ability to distinguish between actual threat and anticipated threat. Their nervous system fires at probabilities, not realities. They decline the invitation because something might happen. They end the relationship because it might become difficult. They do not experience this as loss. They experience it as successful prevention. The cost is in the life they do not live while waiting for conditions to be right. The cost is in the relationships that never deepen because depth requires weather. The cost is in the self they believe themselves to be, careful and sensitive and wise, while the actual self atrophies in the controlled environment they have built. They are not safe. They are alone. They have mistaken the one for the other. There is a moment, usually late, when the pattern reveals its true shape. The person has spent decades managing their exposure to chaos. They have curated their life with precision, and they realize, often in a quiet hour they did not schedule, that they feel nothing. The absence of pain has not produced presence, it has produced absence. They have succeeded in keeping the storm out. They have also kept out everything the storm carried. The urgency that told them they were alive, the disruption that forced them to adapt, the confrontation that clarified who they were. They are gentle with themselves and find themselves empty. This is the cost no one warns about. The protection becomes the prison. The cage was built from the inside. What usually happens when people see this pattern is nothing. Awareness does not dissolve it. The person who recognizes their need for gentleness does not suddenly love the storm. They feel seen for a moment. Then they return to the same behaviors with better language. They say they are working on it. They say they are in process. They say they are learning to sit with discomfort. They are learning to sit with discomfort the way someone learns to sit with a stone in their shoe, planning its removal, not its integration. The rare exception is not the person who understands the pattern. It is the person who acts against it while still afraid, who goes out in the rain not because they love it, but because they have stopped trusting their own avoidance. This is rare because it requires doing the thing before the feeling changes. Most people wait for the feeling. The feeling does not come. The person who loves the storm has not arrived anywhere you cannot also arrive. They have simply stopped waiting for the world to match their requirements before they participate in it. They have accepted that breathing does not require favorable conditions. This is not strength. It is not enlightenment. It is a different relationship with the same facts. The rain is still rain. The difference is in the response, and the response is not chosen in the moment of the storm. It is built in the 1,000 moments before, in the gradual dismantling of the belief that safety is the precondition for living. You will not get there by reading this. You will not get there by understanding it. The mechanism that protects you from the storm is the same mechanism that protects you from this recognition. It is already working. You are already thinking of the exception that applies to you. You are already planning to return to your curated life with this new piece of vocabulary. You will say you are processing. You will say you are being gentle with yourself. You will say you need time. The storm does not care what you say. It only asks whether you will sit still in it or keep running for cover that does not exist.